Hello guys and welcome back to the United for Life channel. So today I'm gonna be doing a match reaction to the game that just went by this weekend, which was Arsenal v Man United. And to be honest, where do I start? As you will know, the game ended 0-0. Now it wasn't really a game of many chances, but I do feel like United had the best chances in the game, but Arsenal came the closest to scoring, with Lacazette hitting the post. So you could say 0-0 was a fair result on both, like for both teams. As to who would have been happy with the result, time will tell. I feel that it's another point dropped, especially when you consider the fact that a lot of Arsenal's key players were out before the game. When you look at the likes of Tierney, Gabriel, Saka, Aubameyang, and Partey, who wasn't really fully fit, and same with Martinelli. I just feel like we didn't really approach the game really well. Like, we didn't show intent on winning the game, and I feel like that's something that's kind of questionable when it comes to Solskjaer. Since he got the United job as a United manager, I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be proven still. Especially when it comes to the mentality within the players. I feel like the mentality that the players have comes down to what the manager says to them or what they do in training or whatever. Like, I feel like the mentality in United in general is just wrong, coming from the hierarchy up, like down to the managers and then onto the players. And you can see it, like, especially with the way our season has gone. I think 11 games this season where we've gone behind in order to come back to win. Yeah, that shows good mentality, like to fight back from a 1-0 deficit or whatever, but it's not sustainable to put yourself in that situation if you intend on winning the league or challenging for the league. You don't see Liverpool doing the same thing, as well as like the likes of City, and this has gone back even way before the Sheffield United game. During the Premier League season, we've gotten away with it against poorer teams, but we see in the Champions League, like in the group stages, where when we played the likes of PSG in the first leg, we scored and then won the game. We played Leipzig, we scored first, won the game. But then when we played Istanbul Başakşehir, where we considered the first goal, we lost. And then the two games after that against PSG and Leipzig. And that's what got us knocked out of the Champions League. And I just feel like we haven't really addressed that issue, because it's still the same recurring theme throughout our season, and it's going to catch up to us, or it probably already did against Sheffield United. But I feel like there's more results like that to come if we continue to start slowing games against better opposition. But I just feel like it's up to Solskjaer to get the mentality right. It's up to him. It's up to the manager. It's the manager's job to get the players ready for a big game. And time again this season, against the bigger opposition, or you say the traditional big six, we haven't really performed. Yeah, you can say a draw against City is a good result. A draw against Liverpool is a good result at Anfield, but I just feel like it'd be better if there was a better performance, like if we show a bit of fight to show that, yeah, we're up there to challenge, that we're not where we are by mistake or due to the injuries that Liverpool have, or how City have been misfiring. And we haven't really done enough of that this season. And again, the same thing the same thing is kind of visible when we played Arsenal. There was a lot of, like, there were a few things that were good in terms of the fact that we did create a chance or two. But I say the negative in the game, like, to be honest, if I had to pick one player that I feel like was poor in the game, would be Rashford. Now, we've all kind of, even I myself, like, I've turned away from his performances this season due to the fact that he's scoring goals and getting assists, or he was scoring goals and getting assists. But now the thing with Rashford is, I start to question his football intelligence and whether he's progressing as a player. Because when you look at what Rashford has to offer, when he doesn't score or assist, it's kind of very hard to understand what he offers to the team, because his decision making is quite poor. Especially for someone who's got the experience of the games he's got in his career so far. And I just feel like that's an area that Rashford needs to improve going forward. Because there are times, like especially the chance that fell to him in the game, where he could have hit it with his left foot and he took a touch, try cutting it back again, and then the chance went. And we've seen many a times that he's done this season, where there's an opportunity to take a shot, but it's like he's trying to score the wonder goal, and he keeps trying to like chop back and chop back and chop back, and sometimes you just want him to just hit it like with instinct, like as soon as the ball comes in. And then that's the area he needs to improve if he wants to be like considered world class. For me, I thought Cavani should have done better with the chances he had. I also thought like there was a lack of communication in the second chance that Cavani missed, because I felt like Martial should have given him a show, because I feel that he was in a better position to put the ball in the back of the net. But overall, not really many chances created. I thought Luke Shaw was outstanding again. Now, I myself have given Luke Shaw plenty of stick. Like I've said time and time again that we need to sign a better left back, but like I've always known that he's got the attacking intent, but it's very frustrating, because what you're seeing now from Luke Shaw is what we expected of him. It's what we saw when he first joined the club from Southampton, and we haven't really seen the same thing since he had his injury against PSV. But it's good to see him playing well, and hopefully he can get back into the England squad, because for me, I think he's England's best left back. I also want to just talk about Ole. I know I did touch on a few things being questionable about the manager. I feel like there's something lacking about Solskjaer in terms of like flexibility in the formation. I'd like to see a bit more flexibility. Like yesterday against Arsenal, I wanted us to go bold with the formation. Like I would have loved for him to go with like if you're gonna play Pogba on the left, I would have loved for him to play Van der Beek with Fred as opposed to McTominay, or even just like start Pogba in the middle and start Martial, or start Greenwood and put Rashford on the left. But at that saying, like looking back at it, like it wasn't really a bad 11, but I think he also went wrong with his sub. While watching the game, I said to myself, I would have taken off not Martial, sorry. I would have taken off when McTominay went off. I said Greenwood was the right player to bring on, not Martial, because he's number one. He's low on confidence. He hasn't scored in many games. I can't remember the last time he scored, but I just thought like bringing on Greenwood gives us more balance, because both Martial and Rashford want to play off the left. And what I would have done at that point in time was I would have brought on Greenwood, drop Rashford on the left to play against Bellerin, and then I would have played Greenwood on the right and leave Cavani up top. And then at the latter stages of the game, when he took off Rashford, that's when I would have brought in Martial, because then the team's balance is still there. And I just felt like it wasn't really a good substitution by Solskjaer bringing on Martial. But I mean, sometimes as the manager you've got to gamble, and he trusted Martial. He didn't really deliver, to be honest. I can't really remember any outstanding moments from him, bar the time where he and Cavani went for the same ball. Yeah. But anyways, looking forward into the next few games. Southampton, I would love for us to show a bit more fight and more intent, because at this point in time, 4 points is becoming a massive gap, especially when you look at the way City are playing. They're not even conceding any goals, so like it's almost as if any time they play, you expect them to get 3 points, because like, I mean, if they were conceding goals, you can say, yeah, it's only a matter of time before a team keeps them out. But the fact that they're scoring and they're not conceding, you just can't see where they drop any point. But United have to win this game against Southampton, especially the fact that City are playing Spurs. Not City, sorry, City are playing Spurs. Especially the fact that City have got the next 2 games, they've got a tough run of fixtures in it. I would just like for them to I'd like for us to like just go in and put pressure on City, like to win before they play the game, and just make them have to win, than for them to just like run away with the title, similar to what Liverpool did last season. And I feel like we have to do it, not just Liverpool. Like we have to put pressure on them, because the likes of Leicester and Spurs aren't really consistent enough to put pressure on them. And to be honest, I never really thought Spurs were in the title race. So I just feel like, yeah, Liverpool will push City close, but we need to be up there as well, because the more pressure you put on City, the better chance of someone else winning it. I suppose it's just Liverpool chasing them. But yeah, that's what I would love to see. Just love to see more fight, more intent. From a manager's point of view, I'd love to see a bit more flexibility in the formation, a bit more flexibility in terms of like the tactics as well. I just feel like when we when we play certain games, when we play games, for instance, I just like there isn't any flexibility in the way we play. There's a lot of there's a lot of flexibility in terms of like, oh, sometimes you might see Greenwood on the left and Rashford on the right and Rashford on the left and whatever. Like there's flexibility in terms of like the actual personnel, but there isn't any flexibility in the actual tactics. I feel like when Rashford moves off the right or the left, like we just play the same way. There's no fluidity in the team, and I'd love to see more of that, like from Solskjaer. But moving forward, I think we should beat Southampton anyways. Not saying that we will, but I'm confident enough that we will. We will beat Southampton. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for enjoying my match reaction on Arsenal v United. If you're new to the channel, just please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, see it.